So Vitaly Klitschko wins a 12-round unanimous points decision victory over challenger Derek Chisora. First and foremost, I thought the fight was a bit closer than the judges had it. I had it 118 to 113 for Vitaly Klitschko. I did think that Chisora won a few rounds in there, and he proved a lot of people wrong. A lot of people thought he had no chance. This would be a one-sided beating. I never really saw it that way. I knew that stylistically, Chisora had ability in there, which Klitschko hasn't had to deal with before. And it turned out to be a pretty difficult fight for Klitschko. I mean, Klitschko won clearly on the cards. There's no dispute about the decision. He definitely won clearly. But it was an uncomfortable night's work in there. Let's get it, straight. It was an uncomfortable night's work. Chisora pushed him all the way, and he was relentless. I mean, Chisora was literally like Marcos Maidana in there, against Amir Khan. He just kept coming and coming and coming, and he would not let Klitschko rest for a second. But again, the very impressive thing for me about Klitschko is that he did not tire. I mean, there was moments there where you wondered, with all the body shots that Chisora was landing, whether Klitschko would fade under pressure. And there was a few moments there where he did seem a bit tired. He held on quite a lot in this fight, more than we're used to seeing him hold on. He just could not keep Derek Chisora off. Chisora just came at him constantly for the 12 rounds. There was no knockdowns in the fight. There never looked like being any knockdowns in the fight. Neither fighter was hurt. Chisora took Klitschko's punches, no problem. And one thing which helped Chisora take the punches was the fact that he kept Klitschko on the back foot. He kept him on the back foot, so Klitschko could not get the same power in his punches as he can when he's coming forward. So, from a tactical point of view, that was an important, part of pressuring Klitschko, is that not only do you, tire his legs, hopefully tire his legs, but you also keep him on the back foot so he doesn't have the kind of leverage in his punches that he would have if he was coming forward. Chisora's body attack was tremendous all the way through the fight. He kept going to the body, Didn't use his jab enough in the later rounds. I'm not sure why he stopped throwing the jab. Maybe he was getting caught with those short little right hands a bit too often, so he was kind of tentative to throw the jab. In the end, he was reduced to just walking in with his hands held high and blocking Klitschko's punches and then getting off to the body. Wild swings from Chisora to the head, which is, kind of what we expected. He is wild when he goes to the head. He landed a few decent shots in there on Klitschko. A few decent shots, maybe shook Klitschko slightly, just slightly. There was one time I think Chisora landed a right hand and Klitschko held on straight afterwards. So yeah, it was Chisora definitely did himself, proud in that fight. He has nothing to be ashamed of. He did better than most people expected him to do, and he did better than I'm sure both Klitschko's expected him to do. Now, there was a lot of bad blood surrounding this fight, obviously, from the slap that Chisora gave Vitaly at the weigh-in. And then before the fight, there was all types of shenanigans backstage with, Vladimir coming into the Chisora dressing room to try and unsettle him and, made an issue about the way Chisora's hands were being wrapped. Well, at the end of the day, Chisora had to expect it. He had to expect it because he slapped Vitaly at a weigh-in, so there was always going to be repercussions. There was always going to be, revenge for that. But it seems that Chisora had the last laugh in terms of, this petty back and forth one-upmanship that's going on between them, because he spat in Vladimir's face. Chisora, he's a character, man, and he came there with no respect for the Klitschkos, and he's leaving with a bit more respect for Vitaly's, definitely, but as human beings, he doesn't respect them, it seems. And, that was the right attitude. That's the thing. A lot of fighters go there to Germany to fight the Klitschkos, and they're all polite and nice and respectful and all this kind of stuff, and they get beat before they even go in the ring. They've got too much respect. And even though a lot of people might not agree with Chisora's actions before the fight, most people won't agree with it. The fact is, he came in with the attitude that he doesn't respect these guys, he doesn't respect Vitaly, and he's coming there to fight and take the title off him. And that's why he did so well. If he came there with a nice guy attitude, he probably wouldn't have done as well as he did. It's all about the mentality that you come into fights with. And Chisora came into this fight with the mentality that he was going to rip the title off of Vitaly Klitschko. He didn't succeed. As I said in my pre-fight video, the key for Klitschko in this fight would be his legs. If Chisora could not take Klitschko's legs away, then I can't see how Chisora would win the fight. And that's what happened. He went to the body, and it was incredible the way Vitali was able to take those body shots and keep moving around the ring, fighting at a good pace for 12 rounds. Incredible. How he does it at his age, I've got no idea. But he was being pushed and pushed and pushed in his fight, and he did not wilt under the pressure. He didn't run out of gas. It was a tremendous performance in a way from Klitschko. The fact that he's able to do the things that he does at his age, incredible. But definitely Derek Chisora's stock has been risen after this fight, so he can look forward to fighting some top 10 guys, maybe a rematch with Tyson Fury, maybe a fight with David Price, or rematch with Helenius. There's lots of places Chisora can go from here. He's going to get paid, more than he was previous to this fight, because he's given Vitali such a good fight compared to all his other opponents aside from Lennox Lewis. So as far as Vitali, well, David Haye was was at the fight, and he's very interested in fighting Vitali. He thinks that he sees things in there that he can exploit. He thinks Vitali has slow feet and this, that, and the other. But I don't know about that, man. I think that Vitali Klitschko is harder to hit on the chin than Vladimir. He's very awkward. He leans back from punches, and he's harder to catch clean on the chin than Vladimir. And although David Haye reckons he has, the quicker feet than Derek Chisora, I don't think he has the chin of Derek Chisora. He don't have the work rate of Derek Chisora. You don't have the stamina of Derek Chisora, and these were the things that were giving Vitali problems in this fight. Yeah, it was the fact that Chisora was completely relentless. He was like Marcos Maidana, just completely relentless. Would not let Klitschko rest. That's what gave Klitschko the problems. David Haye doesn't have that type of work rate. He thinks he can knock Vitali out. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. I think, Vitali can be hurt. There was, like I said, a couple moments where he seemed uncomfortable after getting hit by Chisora, but he wasn't hurt or anything, badly. But he seemed a bit uncomfortable after he caught a couple shots. But as far as Haye, it'd be an interesting fight, simply for the fact that there's not really any challenges out there for either Klitschko. Although Derek Chisora will probably be a future Klitschko opponent again, and he may fight Vladimir this time. Vladimir is definitely not happy with the way Chisora behaved before this fight, and he may be interested in taking that one on after he beats Mormek. Assuming he beats Mormek, he should. I mean, that looks like a complete mismatch, but assuming he beats Mormek, he may fight Chisora. In the meantime, Chisora would do very well to get 1 or 2 fights in if he can, and take it from there. Anyway, let me know what you lot think about this fight. I'm sure there's a bunch of things which I've forgot to talk about. There's no script here in these videos, so I'm pretty much just going off the top of the dome. So I'm sure you lot can fill me in the comment section. Anything I forgot to talk about, let's discuss it, yeah? So this is Hatman, I'm out.